Let's do a full GitHub cycle. We'll start off by creating a repo called cycle. We'll then create a Kanban board to keep track of our issues. We will then invite team members. In this case, we will be inviting a team member called Peter Parker Data and one called Data Stream, although the label for it will be instructor. And then we will assign issues to team members once they have accepted. We will create forks, or the team members will create forks. They will add the assigned issue, commit the code, make a pull request. We will then provide them some feedback and ask those that made the pull request that they make those additions. Then finally, we will merge our pull requests and close the issues. Okay, so let's start off by creating the repo. As mentioned, we're going to call it cycle. And we will say here, demo workflow. We will make it public, add a README. We will not add a getignore. We will be working solely in the browser. We'll then choose a license. Let's go ahead and go with MIT, create the repository, and we've now created the repo. Let's now go ahead and make invitations to our team members. So we will select Manage Access, scroll down to invite teams or people. And as mentioned, the first one is going to be called Peter Parker Data. And as you can see here, his icon is a little Spider-Man. We're going to add him as a reader at this point. Then we will go ahead and add the second user, which will be instructor. So let's go ahead and invite instructor. And as we can see there, we will make him a reader as well. So let's go ahead now and copy the invitation, which is really the same one for both. And as you can see here in this middle pane, I have a separate browser. There are three browsers here in this window. The very first one is the one where I am logged in and I will have the permissions. So this is the AbleSun account. And I am the owner of the repository. In the middle one, there is Peter Parker Data, and this is the person who we have just added as a team member, as a reader, and I will be accepting the invitation in a moment. And on the right-hand side, I have a third account, three separate browsers, three different accounts. And on that one, the account is instructor, as you can see, and in a moment we will also be accepting the invitation there. So I'm going to start off here with Peter Parker Data, and as you can see there, the little Spider-Man face, and I'm going to accept the invitation. Now I am part of this team as a reader. I'm going to do the exact same thing for instructor, as you can see there, get the funny icon, and I'm going to go ahead and accept the invitation as well. So now if we go ahead and reload the page here, right now it says pending invitation, if you see it down here. And when I reload the page, you will see that they are now team members within this repository. So let's go ahead and go back to the code. And now let's go ahead and create a new project. We're going to create a new project. The template that we're going to use is going to be automated Kanban with reviews. Then we're going to go ahead and enter the name. And we'll go ahead and call it tracker. No description for now. So let's go ahead and create it. And when this gets created, it's going to be pretty busy because as you can see there, I have a pretty narrow browser, so we can't see it. But it's a Kanban, it has 3 columns and it has the opportunity to do reviews as well. Now, in addition to that, we want to go ahead and create some issues. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one here. In the first one, I'm going to pretend here that I am asking them for banana bread recipes. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that. This is going to be assigned. Let's go ahead and see who we are assigning it. And let's assign this one to Peter Parker Data. And let's give it a name. No, okay, that's all we're going to do, and that should be selected. Let's go ahead and see. Yeah, we have it selected there as Peter Parker Data. And so I'm going to say here, give us your best. Okay. Now, when it comes to labels, I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. Or actually, let's call this an enhancement. Let's go ahead and see, make sure that that's there. And the project for this is going to be the project that we just created. So it is tracker. Then we're going to go ahead and add a milestone, and let's say, let's call it baking. Okay. Let's see, something a little bit more descriptive. Baking great. Okay. Or great baking. How about that? So I'm going to go ahead and assign that. And as you can see there, now that is part of it. And let's see here. When it comes to pull requests, let's leave that alone for now. We're going to go ahead and submit our new issue. And as you can see there, we now have a new issue for Peter Parker data, and it's the banana bread recipe. I'm going to go ahead and create one more. And in this case, I'm going to be asking a baguette recipe for instructor. And I'll say again, give us great, give us great bread. And I'm going to go ahead and assign this to instructor. Then I'm going to go ahead and give it the label of enhancement. I will go ahead and choose the tracker project as before. And the milestone is going to be great baking as well. I will leave pull request again alone. So I'm going to go ahead and submit it. Now, if we take a look at issues, we have two issues there that have been assigned, one to Peter Parker data and the other one to instructor. Now it's time to go ahead and fork the repository into each of the members of the repository so that they can work on it separately from the main repo. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new window here, and I'm going to go ahead and expand this one. Here is the fork. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and as you can see there, the fork is being made. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. I will do the same for this one. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger so I can see the icon for the fork. A little bit more on this one. I'm going to go ahead and click on fork, and that is being made as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the banana bread recipe on Peter Parker. Simply banana. Let's say .txt, and inside of here I will say my banana. Okay, just simple. And I will say here new banana. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and commit this file. As you can see there, let's see, where is it? Yeah, and we have to click on the view code. Everything's a little bit collapsed because I'm working here in a pretty narrow browser. Now we'll go to the other account here, and we will do the same. We will go ahead and add under this account. We'll create a new, and this one we will call baguette. I'm going to go ahead and give it the same extension, and I will say my great baguette. And I will say the same thing as new baguette. And go ahead and commit as well. View our code, and we can see there that one has baguette and the other one has banana. We're now going to go ahead and make the pull request. That is, we are asking the original repo to integrate our changes. So I'm going to go ahead and do a pull request here and say new. And as you can see there, it's giving me some feedback. It says it's able to merge, and in this case, there's no reason why it shouldn't, and we're not editing the same file. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the same name that I gave my commit, which was new banana. And then going to go ahead and create my pull request. I will do the exact same thing for the one that has the baguette. So I'm going to go ahead and create new. And as you can see there, I get the same message. and I'm going to go ahead and use the same title, meaning the title that I entered for my new commit. And I'm going to then create a pull request. Now, if we go back to the code, we can see here that there are 2 pull requests, right? And so we mentioned that we're going to go ahead and give it some feedback. And so let's go ahead and open up the very first one, which was new banana. And here we're going to go ahead and provide some feedback, and we'll say, give us more text. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make that comment. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back to new baguette, and I will say the same thing, right? Normally you would inspect the code and take a look what's being proposed, but in this case we are simulating that cycle. So I'm going to say here the same, give him the same feedback. I will say, give us more text. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the comment. And if you were watching the other browsers, you saw that give us more text showed up for Peter Parker, give us more text also showed up for instructor. So let's go ahead, go back to the code and make an edit on our file. Let's see. Oh, and I'm here at the wrong place. I have gone to the upstream. We need to be on the Peter Parker. So I'm going to go ahead and go. So this is the fork, the copy, right? So this one has the file. So I'm going to go ahead and go into banana, and I'm going to go ahead and edit it. And I will simply add an additional line that says more text, right? And I'm going to go ahead and simply enter here more text from banana. Commit my changes. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go back to instructor, and I'm going to go ahead and view the code, look at baguette, edit baguette. And remember, the goal here is to get them to fix whatever it is that they did that was not accepted, right? And so I'll say more text from baguette. Let me enter that. And I will say here more text from baguette as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and commit my changes. And so at this point, we can go ahead, and having seen the new additions of new baguette and new text from baguette, we can go ahead and merge this pull request. Let's go ahead and confirm the merge. Let's go ahead and go back to our pull requests here. As you can see, we only have one now. If we look at the entries, we can see there new banana, new text from banana. So we're going to go ahead and merge and confirm this merge as well. So now if we take a look at our code, we can see there that we have the file baguette and we have the file banana. And you can see there the text on each of these. Now I skipped over the review inside of Kanban, but this is an additional step that could be incorporated. But at this point, we can go ahead and move to the issues, and both of them have been addressed, so we can go ahead and close them both, which would move them on the Kanban board all the way from the left-hand side to the completed. So this would complete the cycle. So let's go ahead and do that. First on baguette, I'm going to go ahead and close it. Close the issue. I'll say a comment, recipe complete. Okay, and let's go ahead and go back to the second issue. Let's go ahead and make a comment here as well. Comment and close issue. Okay, now if we go back, there are no more issues. And if we take a look at the Kanban, everything would have moved to the end. So let's go ahead and look at that. I'm going to go ahead and make my window here bigger so that we can view across everything. I'm going to go ahead and fit it into the window here a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and go to projects. We're going to go ahead and look at tracker. We never cleaned up the to-do. Things would have shown up here at first. then in progress, then in review, and then once the review was approved, we would have moved throughout the columns. Now, we'll do a full one of these pretty shortly, so I'm going to leave it at that point right now, just at a pretty high level. As you can see there, that the core part of this demo was being able to add those two recipes, and you can see those that those two are all the way at the right, that is in the done column. So now it's our turn. Let's go ahead and do one ourselves.